car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 5.
Good evening and welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 5. And it has been a good day for some temperature-wise because of that rain-cold air. Isolated showers popping up in and around the Alabama state line, and that's what's been driving our weather pattern for some folks this afternoon. So isolated showers do continue this evening for some, with more isolated chances into our extended forecast. Walking through all of that here in more detail, but temperatures are trending better. And I want to emphasize that because that's going to be for our weekend forecast. Finally, something we can look forward to temperature-wise, and we're continuing to see those trends in place. But that temperature outlook going forward, we're talking beyond the 7-day forecast. We're going to take a look at that, and that might be a little bit more disappointing. But all of that coming up on Mississippi Live Weather at 5. So I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys are ready to get a look outside. I mean, Pontotoc showed up with some of those showers moving through Union County. 84 degrees right now, so some of that rain-cooled air getting further south. But overall, that storm has since dissipated just a bit, not seeing it nearly at its intensity of what it was even about 30 minutes ago. Macon, you're seeing some of those showers off there towards Pickens County. You can see that this still has some of those sharper edges with the cloud tops, so a lot of those still decent in their formation, but will be depleting as we head further into the evening. Just that typical cyclical pattern. I haven't used that term in a while because of how dry it's been, but now with those showers and thunderstorms popping back up this afternoon, I mean, that's going to be a big part of our story going not just today, but also into Thursday. As you can see right here, this is that shower we're tracking, and I'm going to zoom in on that real quick and go through a cycle. And it's basically resided in Pickens County over the last 30 minutes, so we're going to put a 1-hour loop. And you can see how that has strengthened, still producing a high amount of lightning. As you can see at the top left, pay attention to this, 152 strikes over the last 10 minutes for that storm. Currently in Vienna, it's just south of Aliceville, and that's really where it'll reside before moving into, looks to be about Kemper County. I think that's where it'll continue to trend, just following that boundary, and there's that boundary right there. So as it continues to ride that boundary, we'll see it reach Kemper County. I'm going to push that out. Oh, wait, I can't go that far because it's not moving that fast. We'll say about 20 miles an hour once it reaches Kemper County, and there you see Fair Oaks 522, Panola 523, Geiger by 539, and Binsville closer to 544. So with the expanded look on this, I mean, this isn't the only storm that we're tracking. This one up around Union County, let's go ahead and talk about that because earlier, I mean, it was a decent storm, but since then, just fizzled on out. And let's pay attention to why. And it's a big part. Let me put it on now here so that way we stop jumping around. But as you see, there's the remnants of the shower, and not overly intense. Highway 4 there towards Ashland, and down south there towards Myrtle and Darden along Highway 30. That's the remnants of it. And there's still a sprinkle, maybe some light rainfall reaching the ground, but there's that boundary that it was following. And watch earlier on how it was riding that boundary through. Let's see, there it goes. So it was basically riding that boundary directly on top of it. Once that boundary got out ahead, that's where that initiation point just weakened and that storm died on out really quickly. And I want to say, while we're paying attention to this, out there towards Iuka, we got some great shots of lightning over there towards Tishomingo County. And as you can see, plenty of strikes to pick from. And one of the North Mississippi Storm Chasers, shout out Adrian, we're going to show his video coming up tonight at 6. A great shot of the strike, and he might have been a little too close for comfort, but we'll see that coming up tonight at 6. So all the more reason to stay tuned, but watch over time. I mean, once you lose that initiation point, and there's the boundary right there where that it was kind of riding, just dissolves on out. So overall, I'm not expecting a significant storm threat, but still, as you can see, some showers trying to form along that boundary there towards Alpine and Beacon Hill, closer to New Albany, but even though it's just short-lived. So the good news is we're at the downswing. And the good news is, we got plenty of good news. Let's just talk about it all. The good news is it's a much drier forecast for any evening plans. The other good news is the fact that when these showers happened, peak heating of the day. So a lot of locations, their high temperatures were not overly high to where it was just overwhelming. But you can see where that moisture is residing. Currently still in the Gulf as that low pressure system moves into the Gulf. Still at that 10% chance of development with the National Hurricane Center tracking that. But as it's wrapping around those bands, we start to see that moisture push in from the Gulf just a bit more. If it pushes more towards the west, we'll see some of that moisture reach in. And as it has that counterclockwise circulation, you can see where we're getting some of those showers moving in place. And we'll see this a little bit later. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to that graphic because you'll be able to visualize it just a bit better for how that moisture is moving in. So let's go ahead and walk through the first 12. First 12 is going to be a great forecast moving forward, dry conditions in place, and that's really how it'll be as we head into the overnight hours. Temperatures also cooling off, 78 in Iuka, being that they got those showers. I mean, perfect temperature in my opinion. 87 towards Boonville, 90 in Corinth, 94 still in New Albany, but those temperatures, you see that orange color starting to seep in just a bit more, shows you where that rain-cooled air took place, whereas drier out west, 99 Grenada, 99 Water Valley, Greenwood, Belzona. I'm curious, for any folks out there, if you got triple digits, I want to see them because this is just generalized data right here. Some local places reach the triple digits, and I want to see that. So go ahead and submit those pictures, Mississippi Live Weather, with those temperature reports. And heat indices, I mean, everyone was showing triple digits, but that rain-cooled air even kept the heat indices at bay with 81 towards Iuka. The further north and east you got, the cooler air it was and the higher likelihood that you did see some of those showers. As we look at those current alerts, still the extreme heat warning in place until 8 p.m. And we'll talk here at the end of the show, just kind of walking through those heat alerts for tomorrow. Because yes, they're still in place, but they are being dialed back. As I mentioned, temperature outlook looks good for the next couple of days. Well, let's go ahead and jump to that first 12 because that's going to be our forecast going forward. 6 to 9 p.m., those 10% chances still in place because those boundaries have since weakened, not seeing too many more showers and thunderstorms developing over those boundaries. So a much calmer forecast, and again, it just happened at the perfect time of day for some locations across North Mississippi. Overnight, tomorrow morning, still going to be above average temperature-wise, but that's just for the start of the day. The afternoon is trending a bit cooler. So this is what I wanted to show you right here. So let's go ahead and just use our marker and track out, the interaction of high and low pressure. So what we have right here is that counterclockwise motion around that low, and that low, I'll draw a larger arrow to encompass it, was reaching all the way up into North Mississippi. But here's the thing, it's battling another air mass, and that's high pressure out here towards the west. And with high pressure, it has this clockwise motion, and I'm just going to draw all the arrows so you can visualize it just a bit better. So over the high pressure. So what it's doing is it's drawing in some of that continental air into North Mississippi. And we were talking yesterday about, why it's going to be a drier forecast for today. And the reason why we thought that is because this high pressure was dominating our forecast. And models were showing that it was pretty much remaining dominant over the top of North Mississippi as it drug in that continental air. But that low transitioned a bit more west than where it was positioned before. Models were having it currently, it would have been just south of Florida in that coast or Gulf Coast area. So that moisture would have been a more uphill battle to reach North Mississippi. Since it is progressing more into the Gulf and further out towards the west, it's cycling in a bit more of that moisture, and that's why we see some higher chances of rainfall for this afternoon. So it wasn't a surprise, it was just a difference in positioning of that low and high pressure. So moving into our forecast tomorrow, whenever we analyze that forecasted data, definitely going to be a little bit more lenient on those rain chances, being that the low is positioned where it is. You can see, I'm going to get a different marker right here to kind of draw that dome. Oh, let me draw it real quick. There we go. So there is the line. There's the boundary. So high pressure dominating this region. Low pressure dominating this region, especially back in the southeast. So as that high transitions a little bit more north and west, low transitions a little bit more west, that wall, that red wall that I just drew, going to transition a little bit more west as well. So more rain chances hopefully in the forecast for further out west. Our folks over by I-55 hopefully getting at least a few chances for you guys for our Thursday. But it's just going to still be an uphill battle, it's going to be a better atmospheric setup than what we had today. So again, expanding this out, I want to continue to assess, the interaction of those pressure masses down there towards the coast. So there you have the low, and this is overnight on our Wednesday. And as we head overnight, you can see that high just kind of residing and pushing a bit more out towards the west. Really, that low will fizzle out the high right there. See it perfectly. And all of that hot, dry air going to be transitioning more towards the northeast. So there you have this low just dominating this entire Gulf Coast, going to continue to circulate a bit more. The chance of it strengthening into a tropical system, a named tropical storm, 10%. So not very high to see this strengthen too much, but at least wrapping around a bit of that moisture to North Mississippi as we head further into our Thursday afternoon. So that's what we're tracking in the next 24. There's your rain chances. And for that 20%, it is great news because 96 will feel more mid to upper 80s. Just ask folks in Iuka. But as those chances linger into the evening, definitely need to have that rain gear for some spots. And that's what we'll be tracking coming up in the next 60 is where those showers happen, who can expect rainfall, and temperature-wise, you know, what that means for our temperatures going forward. A great sign for a lot of folks when it comes to temperatures, but hopefully that rain-cooled air gets at least to a little bit more than what we saw today. We'll be tracking all of that coming up in the next 60.
We're not just roofers, we're licensed contractors. Local, trusted, backed by hundreds of 5-star reviews from your neighbors.
We don't cut corners, only complete systems with premium warranties. And we keep you informed every step of the way.
We're detailed, thorough, and clean, and we make it affordable, with financing available as low as 0% and same as cash plans. We're not just roofing houses, we're earning trust one neighbor at a time. Call Absolute Restoration.
For more than 100 years, First Choice Bank has provided dedicated community banking to North Mississippi. The banking products and services you need when you need them. At First Choice, you're our priority. Make First Choice your choice for banking.
As a nurse, I've seen a lot of people with sleep deprivation. It affects their job, their home life. At Room to Room, we want to take the guesswork out of buying a mattress, and that's why we brought in this technology. It shows you what you need. We want to do the assessment and find exactly what's perfect for you.
Hey there, Chief Peter Wells, Matt Walmart, reporting from very near Snyder Island, Canada, very near the Canadian U.S. border here in kind of international waters between the two. We are on a whale watch this afternoon as we are kind of tracking of orcas, killer whales. Maybe this is more commonly known. We'll kind of put things around here to kind of see what we have been seeing. Off and on, we've seen them kind of surface and their fins, you know, obviously coming above the water. And we're trying to maintain a distance of at least 200 meters between where they are and we are, hopefully a little bit more than that. They're easily disrupted by boats and other things, and so the closer we are can then mess up their feeding patterns, among other things. So they've just been kind of out here in the waters, and then, of course, hugging near the coast of this island as well. It's the brown color you see of the island has to do with the fact that glacial effects on it really kind of worked over this part of the island. This is a lot of the tree-filled islands that are largely storing around this region. So yeah, it's been obviously the opposite of the cool conditions that we've had down here in North Mississippi. This is clearly talking about trying to stay warm from this. We'll be heading back on down here in the States soon enough, so lots coming up for us as well. From up here, near Vancouver, Canada, and Victoria area, GP Wells is Matt Walmart for the City Live Weather.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Well, Matt, I hope you're having a whale of a time, but that was such a cool video. I know we didn't get to see it live yesterday evening, but appreciate Matt getting to take the time doing that video, just encompassing what he's doing and getting to show us here in North Mississippi, because I personally have never seen an orca whale. So I know there's some other folks here that are in the same boat as me, but we're not in the same boat as Matt, right? Because we didn't see it. But looking at our Mississippi Live Weather radar, I mean, this is not the best time to be out and about on those boats if you were out there towards Tishomingo County over there in Bay Springs Lake or anywhere in the northeast part of the state, as we did have those showers rolling on through this afternoon. Very energetic storms, but very boundary reliant. And what we mean by that is you see these green lines that are starting to develop, and you'll see it back here as well. Those are what we call outflow boundaries. That is some of that rain-cooled air that happens around that. That's basically an initiation point that has these thunderstorms rely on to continue to develop. So once those boundaries get further away from that storm, that's where those storms start to weaken on the back end. But while those boundaries are still in place, at least there is a chance at a few more isolated showers. I want you to pay attention to just how cyclical these can be. Once you get even a little bit behind that boundary, like that one down in Winston County, just starts to weaken on the northern end and still riding that boundary on the southern end, it's just going to be beyond our viewing area. Same thing for this one up there in Union and Tippah County. Once it got away from the boundary, it lost its mechanism of its its forcing mechanism, and then it just lost all of its punch from there. So while it was a great shower while it lasted, cooling us off for a lot of locations, now not having that rain-cooled air, but at this point, temperatures are cooling off, so we don't need that rain-cooled air. You served your time well. Thank you very much. Rainfall totals over the last 12 hours. This is basically the area that's seen rainfall. If you were along and east of Highway 45, there were your chances. And that was just the extent of that low pressure center transitioning that moisture more into our area. But still, if you were I-55 or west, that heat dome's still in play for you guys. So temperatures upper 90s. It was dry all day. No sense of that rainfall, and so no sense of that rain-cooled air. So unfortunately, it was a hotter day for you, but fortunately going forward, that low is transitioning west, and we could be seeing some higher chances here in North Mississippi. Rainfall totals, it was heavy where they did happen, and some of those rainfall rates with that thunderstorm up in Tishomingo County, we were talking about 2 to 3 inches an hour. Now that did not last forever, so you can see 1.89 inches for the heart of that storm, 1.5 inches towards Hamilton. My parents were driving in on I-22 from Birmingham, and my mom sent me a picture. I could barely see 10 feet in front of her. So I'm glad they got in safe because they were driving right through the heart of that storm. An inch in Amory, an inch down there towards West Point, and even down there towards Aliceville. Still getting rainfall as of this point, and they're at 1.8 inches as of now. So it's just going to be an active afternoon for some, but a not so active afternoon for others. So temperatures, where you get that rain cooled air, we're talking upper 80s, Iuka, upper 70s. Just brag about that. But where you are, I-55 and west, 99 Clarksdale, 99 Greenwood, 97 Belzona, Greenville, Senatobia, and South Haven. So what I want you guys to do, and this is, I guess, some homework for tonight. It's summer, I'm sorry. But go take a picture of your temperature readings today, and wherever it peaked out today, I want to see what you guys were at, especially if you're out there towards Greenwood, Grenada, Greenville, Clarksdale, because I want to see if there were any triple digits for some at-home readings, because this is very generalized data like I talked about. So I do want to see that for me personally, and we'll showcase some of those photos tonight at 10. Temperature changes though, this graphic just makes me happy because I'm there. And that's a 6-degree temperature difference. If you're out west, a little bit of a different story, and we're still seeing those warming trends happening. But luckily going forward, that blue that we see associated with that negative temperature differential, that's going to encompass the entire viewing area moving forward. So some good news going forward, good news for our temperatures, at least for the next couple of days, but heat indices still going to be on the warm side. So while we are cooling off just a bit, don't take it for granted. Let's still prepare and stay hydrated. 108 still in Amory as of 5:16, 105 Water Valley, 110 towards South Haven. So those hot, muggy conditions still in place. Here's a look at our current alerts. Extreme heat warnings in place until 8 p.m. on your Wednesday. Doesn't expire then. We just get adjusted for our Thursday with a lot of the extreme heat warning being drawn back. So day planner overnight, need to have that rain gear handy for those isolated chances of showers, but not expecting that to be widespread. It's better to just be on the safe side as these showers and storms continue to just cycle on through the area, following those boundaries like I mentioned. And Futurecast shows at least a few still trying to pop up as we head further through the night. This is about 7 p.m. and there's that one towards Aliceville. A little bit late on that development on our Futurecast model, so this is what's happening now. So a couple hours late on Futurecast, so take that with a grain of salt. But more you can see moving in beyond that point. So this is going to be, 7, 8 o'clock on our Wednesday for any folks driving home from church that are over in Pickens County or Lamar County, especially have that rain gear handy there. But really, if you're east of 45, need to go ahead and be prepared just in case these showers transition a county or two over. Then it becomes your forecast. And with summer patterns, that does happen. So looking at those isolated chances, still continuing into the overnight hours, while this is a bit of a stretch to see it by 2 or 3 a.m., that moisture still lingering in the area makes it possible even up to about 10. So 2, a little bit of a stretch, but by 10 p.m., still having a few isolated chances. Low temperatures, mid to upper 70s, so still above average start for our day. But by the time we get towards the afternoon, like I mentioned, that cooling trend definitely happening for a lot of locations. So let's go ahead and go through our Thursday morning, and it should be a calm, comfortable commute for the most part before those temperatures start to rise and those rain chances move back into the forecast. By 9 a.m., still seeing that partly cloudy sky, but by the time those skies start to clear just a bit by 10:30 or 11, that sunshine reaching the surface, it's going to warm us up big time. Just not as much as what we saw today. That's the good news, but still reaching mid to upper 90s in some locations. So by 1:30, that cloud cover that's building from the south, that's associated with that low pressure center and hopefully will provide some relief to that sunshine reaching the surface there towards Golden Triangle and further south of 82. But already some isolated chances trying to form there towards Chula, west of 55, and down there towards Louisville. So at least some chances of moisture forming and returning back to the forecast 4 p.m., I mean, you can see how widespread this is, basically covering the 4 corners of our viewing area. So all areas of North Mississippi will at least have the chance of isolated showers forming. Need to be having that rain gear handy just in case. But don't be surprised if you're overlooked, because these showers are still very isolated, not going to see widespread impacts and not really significant impacts from this. This is where we'll see the impacts, and high temperatures are going to be drawn back just a bit. 96 Amory, Tupelo, New Albany, a little bit different than what we had today. And then even out there towards the Delta, it was showing 101 Greenville for our Thursday highs, now showing 99. So it's trending in the right direction. 98 in Greenwood, 96 there towards Cleveland. Just a few degrees make all the difference. Heat indices still 110 plus out in the Mississippi Delta and 105 plus out here on the northeast side of the state. So with that, we are still going to see those heat advisories and heat warnings still in place, but those heat warnings going to be isolated to the Delta altogether. So Thursday, altogether, we're going to see those showers dissipate out, and we're going to see a much drier forecast overnight and into the start of our Friday morning. Perfect end of the week, right, with the drier forecast. But as we head further into the afternoon, see how that cloud cover just builds more? We're going to be in a much more saturated pattern. But luckily, that cloud cover blocking a lot of that sunshine from reaching the surface, so it keeps our temperatures just a bit more at bay. It'll also provide us isolated chances of showers and thunderstorms yet again. But this one becoming a bit more widespread, and a lot of models picking up on this. So chances are just slightly higher than what we've been experiencing and what we will experience for our Thursday. So go ahead and have that rain gear handy, especially for Friday, as those rain chances really start to pick up just a bit. Saturday morning, starting off dry, and like the trend continues, isolated showers by the afternoon. But high temperatures, because of that cloud cover moving on in, going to keep our temperatures low 90s, mid 90s out in the Delta. But over here on the northeast side of the state, upper 80s showing up in a lot of locations, including Franklin County in Alabama, Tishomingo County and Prentiss County in Mississippi. It's a great sign of things moving forward. And heat indices not too shabby either. A lot of double digits showing up, not triple digits. So that trending how we want it into a much cooler pattern. So if you need to get anything done, Friday morning, there's the golden time. Knock anything you need to outside and get it done, because as you can see, we explode those temperatures right back up with 98 for the start of the work week. Well, it gets even hotter, 99 for Tuesday. And although it shows 99 Wednesday, based off how trends are this far out, I expect that to be in the triple digits as we enter towards the weekend. So paying attention to that a little bit more in detail, but also heat indices, we're going to be 110 plus for a lot of locations. So as school, I think school's starting back. I know my wife said school starts back Thursday for Boonville. So we're just outside of that threshold, but as kids are preparing to go to school mentally, physically, need to do so inside where it's cooler and stay as hydrated as they can. And that goes for everybody here in North Mississippi. Here's those current alerts like I was talking about. Extreme heat warning still in place through 8 p.m. this evening. Those then dissolve on back and go out there towards Mississippi Delta and Marshall and Benton County. Excessive heat advisories in place for the rest of us. And if you're a county in Alabama, you don't even have an alert because of that rain-cooled air keeping those temperatures just a bit more at bay. I know I've said that a lot, but I'm very excited about that outlook. But whenever we look at that temperature outlook for next week, still slightly above average, but rather than having those oranges and reds, it's dialing back to just slightly above average, which would be about 95 on the grand scheme of things. So we've had 99 this week, so we'll take a 95 going forward. And over the next 30 days, still slightly above average yet again, but only slightly. We're on that first color just above normal. So hopefully that's a trend of things to come. Hopefully we get a little bit of a break from those temperatures. But over the next 3 months, you can see on that scale, still going to be above average. So that above average temperature trend, it's not going anywhere, especially not anywhere over the next 3 months, unfortunately. So have that rain gear ready for your Thursday and Friday, but buckle up for hot temperatures moving forward. We're talking mid-90s come Sunday, upper 90s by Monday, and 99 to probably triple digits for your Tuesday and Wednesday, even hotter than what we had this week. It's July doing its damage, right? So as we look at that extended forecast, we'll be talking in more detail about rain chances for our Thursday, Friday, what exact outputs we can see, and where the heightened rainfall chances are. So all the more reason to tune in tonight at 6. We'll also be talking a little bit more about lightning because, like I said, our North Mississippi storm chaser, Adrian, was right in the heart of one of those storms that produced a bolt very closely. So we'll be walking through lightning safety, why they happen, and a little bit more of that weather information of stuff that happens down here in North Mississippi, which is everything. So thank you so much for joining us tonight on Mississippi Live Weather at 5. We'll be back here in about 35 minutes for Mississippi Live Weather at 6. We'll see you then. I completely forgot. Oh my word. Well, here is how you download the app. If you do not have it yet, I know we still have some folks on stream that, or should I say on the live stream on Facebook and YouTube. Well, you guys can go to the app and make it so much easier to get that weather information. We'll be live at the top of the 5, 6, and 10, but that 24/7 stream going all day long to provide you all the weather information that you need. Even some of the North Mississippi Storm Chasers cameras. Get a live look out of that. See some great sunsets. Highly recommend to do that this evening. And then you can also see the extended forecast, whether that's hourly or 7-day, everything you need to know right at the palm of your hand. So make sure to go download that today, scan the QR code on your screen, and we'll see you back here tonight at 6.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Lawpon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Lawpon has proven himself trustworthy